King Richard. This is a film about Venus and Serena Williams as told through the eyes of their father, Richard Williams, who in this movie is played by Will Smith. This is a great movie. I think mainstream audiences are going to absolutely love this. It's a charming crowd pleaser that I think many people are going to declare as one of the best movies of the year. And you know what? I think they're kind of right. This is a movie that you can pretty much recommend to anybody. God, Will Smith is so great in this. This is such an outstanding performance by him. And I know that among hardcore film buffs, it's kind of become a meme just how much Will Smith has really been trying for that Oscar caliber role following The Pursuit of Happiness. He's had 7 pounds, he's had Concussion, he's had Collateral Beauty, and while not all of those movies were poorly received, they did not get the kind of critical accolades that allowed Will Smith to get nominated for an Academy Award. Here, he really finds the perfect balance, and these are the kind of roles that he needs to be taking for the rest of his career. No more Suicide Squads, no more Men in Blacks. He needs to be doing stuff like this, which allows him to stretch himself as an actor, but also utilize that very famous Will Smith charm, which has made him one of the biggest movie stars of all time. He is sensational in this movie. This is such a great story, and maybe I connected with it and related to it more than most people will, because I am, in fact, a former first-team All-State tennis player. But all joking aside, the story of the Williams sisters is one in a million. I mean, there are going to be people who are going to complain about cliches in this movie, but the fact is, the story of Venus and Serena Williams is one big cliche. We're talking about two people, sisters, who became number one in the world at what they did. I mean, you have one kid who becomes number one in the world as a tennis player. It's a miracle. For two to be able to do it, it's an incredible journey. Like, it's not like these were two sisters and one of them was really good and maybe one of them played on the tour for a little while but was just okay. Separate points in their careers, they were the best at what they did. And Serena Williams, if you know anything about tennis, is the greatest female tennis player ever. This movie does a great job of showcasing just how incredible that journey really was. Will Smith is the centerpiece of this, and everybody else in the movie is entirely serviceable, but there is a moment where it feels like Will Smith doesn't really have another big personality to play off of. Then John Barenthal shows up, and John Barenthal is a gem. Every time I see this guy in a movie, he always stands out, whether it's Wolf of Wall Street or Fury or Ford versus Ferrari. He was on Hot Ones a couple weeks ago, which is a show that I watch religiously. And I came away from it thinking, dude, I would vote this guy for president of the United States if I could. He's really likable. And in a way, he kind of saves the movie. Because like I said, there is that part where it feels like, okay, where are we going with this? And then it finds its footing again because his chemistry with Will Smith is so good. The biggest compliment I can give this movie, though, is that it is 2.5 hours and it never bored me. If you've been following these reviews for a while, you know that I'll review movies that are 90 minutes long and I'll come on here and say, this was dull, this was lifeless, this was boring. I did not get that from this movie, and that is a huge compliment, especially for a film of this length. I think I benefited from the fact that I was able to watch this movie from the comfort of my own home. Thank you very much, HBO Max. But I can't knock the movie for that. It kept me entertained the whole way through. While the movie is never boring, there does come a point where it gets pretty darn repetitive, and the character of Richard Williams, as good as Will Smith is, does at points become kind of unlikable. Now, again, it'll bounce back really quickly, and that is a prime result of Will Smith just being that charming. But there is a moment in the second act where you kind of wonder where it's going, but it quickly recovers, especially once John Barenthal comes back into the picture. The movie also has a similar problem that I had with Tick, Tick, Boom, which is the random appearances and cameos. I understand that even at a young age, the Williams sisters probably came across and practiced with some incredible tennis players, but I really don't like this in movies when the movie just says, hey, it's John McEnroe. Hey, it's Pete Sampras. Hey, it's Jennifer Capriati. Again, it takes me out of the movie. Now, it is not as bad as it is in Tick, Tock, Boom, and that's a really, really minor complaint, but again, it's just something that bothers me. The only real downfall I have with this movie, and again, it's a minor complaint, is that throughout the entire 2.5 hour runtime, it's really good. There's very few moments where it becomes great. Now, there's a few Will Smith monologues that kind of moved me, but throughout the entire thing, there was never a moment where I'm like, wow, this is best picture, this is best movie of the year, this is a 9 or a 10 out of 10, but throughout the entire thing, it is well above average the whole time, and for that reason, I'm going to give it a really solid rating, and I recommend it to everybody. I give King Richard an 8.5 out of 10. Times have definitely changed, but one movie this kind of kept reminding me of was The Blind Side, which came out in 2009, and while that movie has not aged that well, there are some kind of problematic things in it. I do remember when that film came out, people really ate it up and adored it, and I think mainstream audiences are going to have kind of a similar reaction with this. The characters are so likable, it's very endearing, like I said at the beginning, it's a crowd pleaser, and it features a career-defining performance by Will Smith, a really well done, really solid, put-together picture that I recommend to everybody. All right. Another review in the books. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Let's get those watch hours up. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Have a great rest of your day. Peace and happiness.